Our next speaker is Rae Luskin. She's an award-winning artist, the author of 4 books, and a community activist for 40 years. She is committed to empowering women of all ages to unleash their unique voice and vision through creative expression and emerge as confident leaders making a positive difference in the world. Welcome, Rae Luskin.
Hi, everyone. There was a moment in time where 2 pieces of paper made the difference between life or death for me. It was my 35th birthday, and I got my kids to school, and I crawled back in bed. My hair was greasy, I hadn't brushed my teeth, and the dirty clothes were piling up around me. But it didn't matter, because today, I was going to kill myself. Before I did, I got out a piece of paper and a pen. And I started to write all the horrible things that happened to me. And I finally stopped at 88. I looked long and hard at that list of shocks and trauma. And I couldn't believe the heartache, the pain, the guilt, and the shame were still there after 12 years of talk therapy. For some reason, though, I didn't stop there. I picked up another piece of paper, and I made a short list of the good in my life. I had a really nice husband, a beautiful home, and 2 incredible children. I looked long and hard at that list, and in that moment, I made a decision to live. I vowed that day I would do everything in my power to make a difference. I would do everything. I became a self-help junkie. I read 1,000 personal development books. I wrote, and I answered every question that was posed. Now, instead of dirty laundry piling up, I had gratitude journals and positive affirmation statements. I still struggled with depression and despair. And I have to tell you, I've always been an artist, and I had plenty of crayons, glitter, and glue in my house. One day, I just took out a black crayon, and I started making marks on the paper. And those black marks became red, raw slashes of pain. This could have been 10 minutes. It could have been an hour. It didn't matter. I put my heart and soul into those scribbles. And when I put the crayon down, I couldn't believe it. I had this tingling running up and down my arms. I let out this deep sigh. And this peace and calm came over me like I'd never felt before. I always knew that art had the power to bring beauty to the world, but now I knew art could heal. The dictionary describes scribbling as to write or draw in a hasty or careless manner. It's to make meaningless marks or lines with a pencil. I'm here to tell you that scribbling is not meaningless. Scribble saved my life. For weeks afterwards, I kept scribbling. And eventually, the rage and the grief turned to joy. I couldn't believe how I felt and looked. People I'd known for years came up to me and said, "What did you do differently? Did you change your hair? Did you lose weight? You look so happy. What is your secret?" The first time I told my story of healing from childhood sexual abuse was at a health club. My knees were shaking, just like it's been here, and I was sure I was going to throw up. But I felt the fear and did it anyway. Afterwards, a young woman came up to me and said, "You saved my life." In 1999, I opened up Art and Soul Connections, an art school, where I use simple art and writing activities to nurture self-esteem, resilience, and communication. I work with hundreds of children and families. One couple stands out. They were having a problem. Their child was being bullied at school, but the 2 of them couldn't come to any understanding what they could do about it. And they started to scribble, and they finally could work it out. They didn't have any answers, but they scribbled on the same paper, and when they did, they could come up with the answers that they needed. They said they were so happy and appreciative of that. In our culture, the arts are often thought of as frivolous, and it's the first line in the school budget to be cut. But research has found that the arts are incredibly important in the development of young brains and keeping older ones healthy. It gives you a boost in your interpersonal social skills. It is able to give you focus, improve memory, motor coordination, and analytical skills that you wouldn't have otherwise. Since 2012, I have interviewed 190 thought leaders, visionaries, creative activists, entrepreneurs who remind us that creativity is not just limited to artists. Creativity is a gift, it's a mindset that all of us can inhabit and develop. It gives us the ability to create thriving communities. It gives us the ability to come up with new solutions to the most pressing problems. 36 stories of people just like you doing extraordinary things are highlighted in my award-winning book, The Creative Activists Make the World Better, One Person, One Action at a Time. If they can do it, I know you can too. With the remaining time, I want to share 2 of the many techniques that I've developed over the years and share in my Dream Big workshops and my Stuck to Unstoppable coaching programs. When do you come up with your best ideas? Is it when the kids are screaming or your boss is breathing down your neck? Probably not. It happens when your mind is relaxed. Thus, solving the mystery why so many of us find our best ideas in the shower or in the middle of the night. Have you ever noticed 2 people go to the same party? One person complains, the food is terrible, the music's too loud, and claims it's a bust. The other person goes and has a totally different attitude. Wow, they're dancing, they like the music, they're meeting new people, and it was a fabulous evening. I want you to think about what it would be like if you had a tool that you could instantly shift your mind. We have 60,000 thoughts a day, and 95% of them are either repetitive or negative. I developed a tool which I call Air Scribbles, and it will give you that instantaneous shift. So I'm going to ask you to stand up. Make sure you have enough room. Okay, everybody's got a room. First of all, just sort of shrug your shoulders. Move your head from side to side. Thank you. Now, you are going to be the conductor of the orchestra today. So just listen to my voice and play along. And it's okay. Give yourself permission, because I know this could be uncomfortable for many of you. Just have fun with it. So, pick up your baton, and now with both hands, I want you to do little circles. First one way, then the other with your wrists. Now, big, undulating curves. That's right. Go for it. Now I want you to do swirls. Up and down, up and down. Imagine there's a little tornado going on. Now a series of dots, dashes, slashes. Fabulous. And now one big Z for Zorro. Now I'd like you to put your arms down and take a bow. Thank you. And all sit down. So what did you notice? What changed for you? One of my clients said that it shifted her mindset. It gave her the confidence to play full out. It gave her the ability to not take life so seriously. As I mentioned before, sleep is one of those areas where when our mind is relaxed, is when we come up with our best ideas. Thomas Edison was known to take a power nap. He would write a question down in his journal, then he would sit in his rocking chair and he'd rock back and forth. And then as he was about to fall asleep, he held a pebble in his hand. It would drop into a bucket, wake him up, and he would write down his answers. I have something I call the power scribble. Now, this usually takes about 20 minutes, this process, so I'm giving you the Cliff Note version today. So you write down your question, then through a series of scribbles, doodles, and little writing activities, you are going to come up with a list of ideas, words, and images that answer your questions. There is no editing, no judgment, and no mistakes. This is the true art of problem solving. General Electric has a collection of Edison's scribbles and doodles from the electric light bulb. Most of them are undecipherable, but to him they had meaning and got him closer and closer to his goal. So what is your goal, and what's stopping you? Albert Einstein said, "We can't solve problems using the same kind of thinking that we created them. So we need a new mindset. We need creative people who have imagination. They're masters of imagination, innovation, and resourcefulness. We need the mindset of NASA scientists when President John F. Kennedy tasked them to get a man to the moon and back safely. We need the mindset of genetic researchers who decoded gene sequences using musical notation. Or Martin Luther King, who had a big dream and ignited a movement. We need creative dreamers like Steve Jobs, who doodled on a whiteboard, or J.K. Rowling, who scribbled her notes for Harry Potter on napkins. You are all creative. It might be buried under years of people saying, you're just not that creative, but I assure you it's there. And it is my passion to help you rediscover your unique creativity. Scribbles are just one easy strategy to unlock your imagination. There's one easy strategy to help build your creative confidence. Scribbling can help you tap into your heart, express your deepest desires. It can de-stress, and it can be a tool for fun. It has the ability to unleash your imagination and come up with many, many options, what you can do, and unlimited possibilities. And it can train your brain to actually come up with multiple solutions. It might even save your life. Thank you. Thank you.
I just listened to a really compelling presentation from Rae about creativity and the importance of art interwoven with her personal story. It was absolutely amazing, and it inspired me to integrate some of what she has been teaching into my own holistic health practice. Thank you.
That was such a powerful story, what Rae shared, and I was just amazed at how she could do that and come out on the other side. And it made a lot of sense to me because she gave us a practical application that helped me work through some things. It was really good.
I just heard this most phenomenal talk that was not only touching but kept us all absolutely spellbound. What we heard was how therapeutic art could be and how it could lift spirits up for not only children but adults, to lift people up from depression to functioning to happiness and gratitude. How wonderful is that? And in addition, it also highlights the fact that art is too important for us all and should not be cut from the school system, that it's part of seeing the world in a beautiful place. And I want to thank her for that.